But then they told Mike Sharbaugh that there was no revocation a month later.
Well, what they told him was that the stay of judgment put a hold on the revocation as well.
But there was no official revocation order ever written. That's what I'm saying.
Then I don't know.
Well, wouldn't you have that in the file?
I don't know what the court would have that in their file.
Yeah, see, here's the problem. This is where I'm talking about the documents being fraudulent, Mr. Zimmerman, and it goes all the way back to November of 2012. That is the beginning of their fraudulent stuff that they're doing. They're claiming that I did not report police, and that is something that Colin's lying about, because I called Colin, and Colin knows that I also spoke to Colin in person, and I also told him about it the next appearance that I had in December of 2012. And he told me, don't even worry about it. He says, there was no arrest, don't worry about it. Colin is not being forthright with you. He's being less than honest. If other people that have websites get hold of that stuff and decide to put his picture on it and hold him accountable for lying, I have no control over that. And to be quite honest with you, I hope that they don't do that to guys like Mike Sharbaugh or you yourself. Because
I'm not terribly worried.
Well, I mean, you seem to. Why are you concerned if it happened to Colin then? I mean, you're accusing me of going after Colin. Colin should come out and speak to me if he sees me. Why is Colin taking photographs of me when I'm trying to bring the fraud forth? I'm simply trying to say, look, they're lying. They're not telling the truth. This whole thing, this whole trial that you're referring to was based on a fraudulent document that did not exist at all in 2013. So how in God's name, Mr. Zimmerman, could it have ever been filed in 2012 when by their own admission it did not exist? By Mike Sharbaugh's own testimony on September 16th, 2013, in front of Ron Plotz, Lori Ryman, and the court clerk, how he says there's only one violation of probation. He's looking right at my procedural history, right at my whole history of probation. There's only one. I have only one violation of probation. It's for assault the third in the town of Yorkshire, which was directly vacated. It was overturned. I won. That is history. So if they attached an amended violation of probation to the original violation, sir, and the original one has been thrown out, well, what happens to this amended one that Denise Langvarsky testified under oath, mind you, that she never even spoke to me about? Okay? These are the fraudulent things that I'm begging you to please address these things. This is fraud that's being perpetuated upon your court. It's putting unbelievable stress on me and causing me financial loss. And you're concerned about why Colin's picture is on a website? I could care less why his picture's on a website. It's probably because he's lying. There's people out there that take acceptance to that. There's people out there that are going to protest over that.
All right, that's not what you're concerned about. I understand that.
Thank you.
Let me tell you what I did do. I did call Judge Plotz after I talked to you.
Good. Is he considering vacating his order?
And I said, whatever's going on here, we got to get this resolved. It's got to be taken care of.
Thank you.
Ron told me that he was going to talk to the district attorney, and he said he was going to walk over to her office and talk to her about where the case was at.
Well, that would be great.
What's going on with it?
That would be great. That would be great. I mean, you know, the only thing that's going to come out of this, Mr. Zimmerman, is going to be another lawsuit against the county, which I don't want that to happen because I live here.
All right, well, let me tell you what he told me that he would go and talk to Lori and he would get back to me.
Okay.
He has not gotten back to me yet. You know, and he told me to get back to me before the week was up, so I'm still waiting.
Okay, well, we'll be down there Monday morning protesting with a group of people, so we'll be there.
I had some more stuff to say.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. So then yesterday afternoon, I ran into Lori.
Oh, poor you.
At another meeting, and I went to her and I said, Lori, what's going on? We got to do something. This has got to be resolved. I said, I spoke to Judge Plotz. He said, well, didn't he get back to you? I said, no, he didn't. She said, well, he came over to talk to me, and we have something pending in the appellate division in Rochester, and there's a federal lawsuit, and we need to get all those things taken care of before the judge can do anything. I'm like, well, what's taking so long?
tell you, Mr. Zimmerman, I appreciate what you're doing. You're getting more done than anybody else has done in 2 years. Go ahead.
Well, and I'm going to say, so that's everything that I have done so far. I will keep your file on my desk so that I see it every day, and I will keep after all the people that have control over this. Technically, according to Judge Klotz, we still have you on probation.
Well, that's pretty funny because I haven't reported at all.
I know that. And you haven't reported because...
I haven't reported because
because I, when this was first getting kind of crazy, Mike Sharbo reminded me that he came and talked to me about it, and my response to him was, don't worry about making this guy report, we're not going to hold him accountable for that. And, the judge is saying that you're not off probation, so fine, you're not off probation.
Well, then that means it's not revoked. So why did they have it on the uniform court reports that my probation's revoked, and that's what's on my background report, and it's preventing me from getting a job, sir?
Well, and I haven't had a chance to run your rap sheet yet, which is the next thing I'm going to do. In fact, I'm going to do that as soon as I hang up with you.
Okay.
Because I do want to see that that's what's showing up in the rap sheet.
Well, I could send you. I could email you. I could email you a copy of my criminal background report. I've sent it to my criminal attorney and my civil attorneys, and I've sent it to another attorney, and I've sent it to I think 20 other people. I mean, it's fraudulent. It doesn't.
I was under the impression that you didn't have an attorney now.
Oh, I have several attorneys,
Okay.
and they're all been paid in full.
Okay.
So that should tell you why I had to sell equipment in order to pay these attorneys.
What I want to do, John, is I want to run your rap sheet myself so that I get a copy that has my computer's identifier on it, so that I know that anytime that it's looked at, we know where it came from.
I appreciate you doing that. And Mr. Zimmerman, thank you so much for doing this.
Well, John, I try to do things by the book, but this is...
Well, you're one of the few that do. You're one of the few people that do.
Yeah, this is one of those cases that has, gotten kind of lost in the cracks.
I understand what you're saying. I disagree with you wholeheartedly. I think they've committed fraud. They've filed fraudulent documents. They've made lying, fraudulent, false statements on those background reports, as you will see. And you will see that it's not where it's getting lost. They're purposely hiding it. In that file of mine, on the second floor in the chief court clerk's office, they've got Brett Hefner's cover page on the top of my violation of probation or my probation file. Brett Hefner's a felon and he's a flight risk. I'm a homeowner. I'm a taxpayer. I'm a father of 6 children. I've been married for 20 some years. I mean, I have a life I've lived. I've been a business person. I've been a zoning board of appeals chairman. I wanted to run for judge in this town. These people are despicable. Lori Ryman tops the list. If Colin wants to be led around by his nose and lie for them, that's his business. I still want to know who told him that probation was revoked. It couldn't have been Mike Sharbaugh, it couldn't have been Denise Langvarsky, and it couldn't have been you. It could have only been someone from the district attorney's office.
John, it came from the court notes that we have in our file.
But they're fraudulent, sir. That's my point. You're making my point. Their own words are fraudulent. They're incorrect. Hands down. Hands down.
Well, that was the note that was entered into our file on January 21st.
Sure, and mind you, all of these things that are lost or procedural errors have spiraled off of this fraudulently filed thing that was never filed in November. All it was a letter request from the probation department that didn't even materialize until after September 16th, 2013. That letter was never even on the planet. It was backdated to November 19th, 2012, or November 14th, 2012. And it's all there is a receive stamp. There's no time stamp on there. There's no declaration of delinquency. The judge never took action on it. Lori Ryman does not have the authority as a DA to bring that to trial. A judge must take action on that. Lori Ryman had no right. She broke the law. She committed a crime. And then she ran with it. And my attorney let her do it.
But John, I'm trying to answer your first question. You wanted to know where Alan got that information.
Not.
That's where he got it. There
Okay.
was a note in our file.
From who?
He did nothing wrong. He read the notes that were put in the file.
Who put the note in the file, Mr. Zimmerman? Who's the note from?
That was taped from Mike Sharbaugh's notes when he was in court on the 21st of January.
So Mike Sharbaugh sat in court on September 16, 2013, and informed the district attorney and Ron Plotz that there's only one violation of probation. Then he turns around and puts a note in and says that, well, it's revoked because we have this other one that Lori Ryman made up after September 16, 2013. So Mike Sharbaugh is equally as guilty, so he'll make it on the website too, I would imagine.
Actually, no. He has a note in here, September 16th of 2013. That's the day you were talking about.
Yes.
I was saying that you appeared without your attorney, or failed to appear. Your attorney failed to appear.
Right, and that should have ended the trial.
Case was adjourned to October 16th.
It wasn't adjourned. They proceeded and had a hearing, sir. He's lying. They proceeded and had a hearing. I was questioned. I was called up before the judge. If you read page 5 of that transcript, which is in my VP 1562 file, I'm begging you to read that page before you even say another word. Lines 5 through 25, you tell me that those people are telling the truth after you read that page, because you seem like an up-and-up guy. The only conclusion you can come to is they are lying, period.
That transcript is not in our file.
Of course not.
The transcript is in the course. I'm going to have to go to Little Valley to take a look at that. And I will do that when I get to Little Valley next week, and I will ask the judge to give me the file.
If you have an email, I can email it to you.
I do.
Okay.
It's very simple. Do you have some of the other folks' emails? Here in the county?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay, because they're all basically the same. It's G.E. Zimmerman.
G.E. Zimmerman.
At catco.org.
At catco.
catco.org.
Okay, so G.E. Zimmerman at catcos.org.
Yep, and if you send me that, I'll read it.
I'm going to send it to you first chance I get today, sir. Please read page 5 and then go back and ask Mr. Sharbaugh, how in God's name could you possibly say this on court record on September 16th, 2013, and then a mere 12 weeks later have a trial saying that an amended violation of probation was filed on November 14th, 2012. Impossible, chronologically impossible, and it is a lie from the pit of hell. And that's why these people are going to make it on that website, because the guy that owns that website does not like stuff like that. He don't like it, and neither do I. And I appreciate you taking the time to look into this. You are the supervisor. We've been lied to by the chief court clerk. We've been lied to by the court clerk. The judge himself has perjured himself. Ron Plotz has perjured himself, period. Lori Ryman's committed federal crimes. That's why there's $1 million against the county and a $3 million lawsuit in her individual capacity. She's crying immunity, but she didn't operate under the color of law. She got Colin to do her dirty work for her, and Colin was stupid enough to do it. That's why he's up there. He deserves to be up there. He belongs up there. And until this is straightened out, that will stay there. I can guarantee it, because the guy ain't going to make a move if he understands that I'm being wrongfully violated, and I'm wrongfully being accused, and I'm wrongfully charged, and wrongfully possibly incarcerated based on the lies of these people. It's ridiculous. They let 6,000 criminals go this month alone in our country. They're going to reincarcerate me? I don't think so. And I don't think I am on probation at all. I was given an opportunity. Mr. Sharbaugh said, you may continue. I wrote him back and said, well, I'm going to not continue, because I'm going to not decide to continue. That's, if I may continue, that would mean I may not continue. And quite frankly, I think if he had a chance to do anything about it, he would have, and he didn't. I mean, if that's the case, come and arrest me, you know? Really. Because I have no intention of cooperating with anybody at this point. I've completed my probation. I went for 3 straight years. I showed up on that last month in March. Colin said, at least we can report that you showed up. Is Colin going to tell you the truth about that?
You're not going to have me argue with you on that.
There is no argument. Yeah, I know. You shouldn't argue with me, because I'm right.
Okay, but let me, the very first piece of paper in our file on you, April 10th, 2014, it was a letter from Judge Plotz to Michael D'Amico. The judge said, I agree, the stay on the judgment places the matter back to its prejudgment
Nobody sent me a copy of that. In fact, that's par for the course that somebody would say they sent him something extending my probation, but I never got that letter. So who gets to arbitrarily extend probation?
Well, that was the judge.
So the judge, knowing full well that he's perjured himself at that hearing, then arbitrarily just decides to extend it, sending it to my attorney, never notifying me. I'm supposed to be notified. I'm the probationer. If there is a violation of probation, those criminal procedural laws 410, that whole article says I'm supposed to be promptly notified, not 14 months later, Mr. Zimmerman.
Okay, well, you know...
That's prompt notification, April 10th? Come on.
Well, that's where some of this stuff is coming from.
Yeah.
Let me run, like I said, that rap sheet. Let me read your transcript, and we'll talk again, I'm sure.
Thank you, sir. Have a great weekend.